If you and your partner or partners are thinking about taking a break, not like a Ross and Rachel break, but an actual pre-planned, intentional, meaningful break, here are some things to think about, questions to ask yourself to set yourself up for success. A lot of times when couples or relationships decide to take a break, it's a really painful, chaotic time in the relationship. And understandably, they don't take the time or even know how to take the time to ask themselves intentional questions about how this break is going to go. What this can do is actually decrease trust in the relationship and increase harm instead of doing what that break is intended to do. The first question you've got to be asking yourself and your partner or partners is, what does this break mean for us? What is the intention of this break? And what does a break actually mean? Is this a break on the way to a breakup? Or is this a break with the hope that we will get back together and we will continue our relationship? You also need to define the parameters of that break. Are we seeing other people? If we were monogamous before, are we monogamous now? If we were non-monogamous before, is anything changing about the boundaries we had for non-monogamy? One of the most anxiety-provoking things about breaks is not knowing when they're going to end, and you can actually help take care of yourselves up front by having that conversation. What is the expectation of how long we're going to go on this break before we check in about whether or not we want to come back together? Whether that's a week, a day, a month, a year, it doesn't matter. Choose a time, and that doesn't have to be a time you get back together, but it should be a time where you check in with one another about how you're doing and what you want moving forward. Speaking of which, you've got to be clear about what communication and space are going to look like during this break. Is this a full 100% break, no communication, no seeing each other? Or are you going to see each other on some kind of regular basis that's less frequent than what you're doing now? A lot of times I recommend that people in relationships continue to see their therapist, a couples therapist if they have one, as a continued touch point during the period of a break where they can have contained check-ins with the support of somebody who can help. And lastly, it's great to have some kind of rule for what to do if somebody wants to end the break early. If somebody wants to end the break early, it doesn't mean that that's the end all be all, the break is going to end. But having a way to talk about that agreed upon in advance is going to help make it less painful if you're not on the same page about when to end that break. I really hope this helped bring some clarity onto how to manage a break with more meaning and intention. Let me know in the comments.